Tonight, you will do something your ancestors never had the luxury to skip. You will leave a light on, a phone screen, a hallway bulb, a thin strip under the door. You'll tell yourself it's just a habit. It isn't. It's older than habit. It's older than you. And the real reason is far stranger than, I'm just used to it. Go back before electricity, before fire was even tamed. For most of human history, night wasn't quiet background, it was a hunting ground. Predators saw better in the dark than you did, they moved quieter than you did, and they knew, the way animals know, that a resting human is a slow human. So your ancestors built a rule into their bodies. When light disappears, threat increases. Stay alert, stay still, don't wander. That rule never got deleted. Villages formed, cities rose, streetlights came online. But rules like that don't disappear, they get buried. And a buried rule still runs quietly in the background, steering behavior you assumed was just a personal quirk. Here's where it gets strange. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner studied the Jahansi people of the Kalahari, and she noticed something specific about what happened after dark. During the day, conversation stayed practical, complaints, gossip, planning. But at night, around the fire, the subject shifted almost entirely to storytelling, myths, ancestors, meaning. Why would darkness change the subject? Because darkness removes the option to act. You can't hunt in it, you can't gather in it, you can't fix anything in it. So the mind, denied its usual outlets, turns to story instead. Firelight became the first theater humans ever had, and the fire itself became a boundary, a wall between the visible world and the invisible one. That boundary is still inside you. You just don't call it a fire anymore. You call it a nightlight. Now here's the twist most people never connect to this. Light doesn't just make you feel safer, it talks directly to your biology. Oxford neuroscientist Russell Foster has spent decades studying how light reaches your brain through a pathway that has nothing to do with vision. Certain cells in your eyes exist purely to detect brightness and report it straight to your internal clock. That clock doesn't know about phones or bedrooms or 2 a.m. anxiety. It only knows one thing. Light means day, darkness means night, and night to that ancient clock still means vulnerable. So when the room goes fully black, something old inside you switches on. Not fear exactly, more like readiness, a quiet hum of stay alert that your ancestors needed, and you, locked safely in your own house, do not. You end up caught between two timelines. Your environment says you are safe. Your biology says prove it. Harvard sleep researcher Charles Czeisler has shown just how sensitive that internal clock really is. Even small amounts of light in the evening can delay it, confuse the signals telling your body it's time to power down, which creates a strange irony. The very light you leave on to feel safe enough to fall asleep might be the reason falling asleep feels so hard in the first place. Think about what true darkness actually meant for most of human history. No moon, no stars, just black. That kind of darkness didn't only limit vision, it erased your entire sense of space. You couldn't see the tree line, you couldn't see the edge of the cliff, you couldn't see the thing that might be watching you. Total darkness wasn't peaceful, it was disorienting in a way modern humans rarely experience anymore. And disorientation to a body built for survival reads as danger. So the fear you feel reaching for a light switch isn't really about monsters, it's about something older and far more literal. It's about not being able to see the edge. Here's the part that reframes everything. You are not broken for needing a light on. You are not childish or overly anxious or behind some imaginary curve of adult independence. You are running code that kept your ancestors alive long enough to have descendants at all. Every person alive today exists because somewhere back in that line, someone respected the dark instead of dismissing it. That instinct didn't get anyone killed. It got you here. But modern darkness is nothing like ancient darkness. Your house has locks, your street has lights, your phone can call for help in seconds. The threat that built the instinct mostly doesn't exist anymore. What's left is only the echo of it, still playing on a loop, with nothing left to respond to. You're not afraid of the dark. You're afraid of a world that stopped existing thousands of years ago, still running quietly in a part of your brain that never got the memo. Understanding that doesn't erase the instinct, it just changes your relationship to it. You can leave the light on and know exactly why, instead of wondering what's wrong with you for needing it. Because nothing is wrong with you. Something very old is simply still online. Think about how strange your ordinary night actually is compared to nearly all of human history. You control the sun now. You decide when day ends with a single switch. No generation before you has ever had that power, and your body hasn't caught up to it yet. It still expects darkness to mean stillness and light to mean safety, because for almost the entire span of human existence, that equation was never wrong. You broke the equation. Your nervous system is still doing the math the old way. So, the next time you reach for a lamp before you can fall asleep, notice what's actually happening. You're not indulging a fear. You're honoring a survival strategy that has quietly protected your bloodline since before language existed, before fire was tamed, before anyone had ever seen a wall or a lock or a street lamp. You are the end result of every ancestor who respected the dark instead of dismissing it. Tonight, you'll leave a light on again, just a small one, and now you'll know exactly whose habit you're keeping alive.